So that's the third with this charcoal. So now I'm going to try do a bit more. You can see how thin this stuff is. It's crazy. It's like tissue paper. So by comparison, that went through the cartridge paper thing. Difference in the everything, the mark making and everything. I think the thing about it is as well that how you respond to something that creates this kind of wash effect. Particularly when it's like I'm not trying to. I've got no idea of how it's going to turn out. I don't really care. I'm just going to draw it. So as these things are happening, I'm embracing them. Basically, that's what it is. So getting used to the charcoal is part of that process, really. But I think, it's definitely an interesting experiment to use different papers of the same medium just to see what how it works. And adjusting accordingly, because I think that the mark making thing, people have definite mark making, and it's always going to be this way, and they keep repeating it over and over, and they get really good at it, But suddenly change the medium and suddenly change the materials that they're going to use, and they're back to square one because they've learned to do it in a certain way. And everything is part of that process. It's the materials as well as the medium. I'm going to draw this lady now. I can't find any more pictures of that young girl, so I'm going to draw this lady. As I say, I'm going to probably try, now that I'm used to the charcoal, I'm going to just put a bit more into it in terms of the finish of it, I think. Let me just get the position things right. See, I'm putting more tones on, making the marks a bit heavier, because I know that how easy it is to remove from this paper. So now I've become, acquainted with it, so to speak. I'm actually doing things knowing that I can do, what I can do with it, which is, I think, why initially I'll do a few, when I get the new charcoal, I'll do a few drawings. If I start with different paper, I'll do the same sort of thing, just to see what I'll do before I commit to it properly. But yeah, so I think things are kind of in the right place. I'm just looking at alignments at the moment, so let me just confirm a few things before I start to put any effort into it. Kind of, nearly, but I think I can get away with that and fix the things that I can see are wrong. I'm just looking at that shape there. That's this shape isolation thing. I can see that, but it may well be that it's just simply a case of the shading, that the way that it's got this darker part here, for instance, that's causing the discrepancy. That it looks like it's too big. The height thing there. Because of this, how smooth this is, and how the charcoal kind of glides across the surface, it does allow me to be a little bit more flowing with the marks, which is something I like. I don't like it when it requires a lot of effort to make a mark. So another reason why this paper is pretty good for me. I'm just putting these darker tones on it just because it gives me a bit more that shape reference, that's all. Yeah, it's the same piece I've been using from the beginning, from this morning, really. So it's down to that length now. So I'll put it in this bamboo clutch thing. Like I said earlier, it's some of this is when it's flowing and it's good. I don't want to not use all of it, you know. I know, so I do that sometimes. And I once saw this guy that was doing a live demo, and he was doing that sort of gestural thing, and I could never work out what he was doing, why he was doing it. It looked a bit like a flamboyant gesture, you know. I kind of know what he's doing now. I know when I do it like that, it's me. If I slow it down, it's doing that. I'm doing that, but it looks like I'm just, you know what I mean. And also, sometimes I'll put my finger on things because I'm trying to get some kind of comparative line, you know. But that's me. That's me doing what this guy was doing. That I thought was just some kind of flamboyant gesture. I think also the ease at which I can make marks with this is also creating these these serendipitous marks I didn't really mean to make, and which brings really for me the interest. I think that's probably because this is a direct response kind of thing. I think it's the stuff like that makes it much more interesting. It's still about the suggest and imply stuff. No, I still think there's that's going on there. Which is, as I say, is I suppose the main thrust of what I do. I'm not really going to draw every detail of it. If I can imply and suggest what's going off, I'd rather do that. I'm just doing it again. Sorry about that. But you know what I'm doing anyway when I do that. I think it's one of those things now where things are roughly where they need to be, and it's a case of fine adjustments just to get the and it's a tonal thing as much as anything else. So I'm going to just try to be a bit more precise. I think the other thing about this, and I just noticed that it was doing it then. You know, when I'm making marks on it, it's taking away some of the charcoal. So it's almost like it's not. You know, I'm not committing to it straight away, and as I gradually work towards it, it's almost like the refinement process is gradually, honing in. It's like as I take things off, as I make a mark, it takes the previous charcoal, or what it does is it takes it off, but it also creates a dominance. I think that's probably because I'm pressing a little harder on it now than I was to start with. So it's probably that that's doing that as much as anything else. But the removal and adding a removal of, I think it's giving it more depth, particularly with it being hair. Yeah. Changed tack a little bit. I'm putting less pressure on it now. So because I'm going to do a little bit of this more the blending thing, but I'm also going to try just to create a smooth blend with the marks, just even the marks out. I think that's what I'm trying to say. When I started doing it, I used to use this is John Farinoff's tip. Check him out; he's a great artist. But his tip was to use a harder pencil. HPS. Oh, sorry, H or something. I use a 4H, not to put any, because it doesn't put any graphite on the thing. It just evens out things. So that's what I used to do after I'd done, after I finished. I'd go over it. And sometimes on those early videos, I'm going to even the tones, I'd say. Now I don't care. I don't bother. I don't bother if it's like that. That's fine. It's fine as long as it looks right. Yep. I'm just thinking about that distance there. You see there to there. I'm looking about that. I think it's all right, but I'm going to put that in like that there, just so I can maybe put an edge there like that, and then yeah. Yeah. I wanted to spend a bit more time on this. I just looked at the time on it, and it's 34 minutes. It's 35 minutes. Sorry, it's just not a time thing. It's not a time at all. This for me, I can't. I don't set out being, it's going to be quick, but it just for some reason, invariably, it is a quick process. A friend of mine said we were talking to somebody about it, and he said, "I just 45 minutes sometimes." So one of those competition things the other day, and in just 3 hours, they were able to do this. I'm thinking, well, I'd have had a few done by then after 3 hours. But not, as I say, not intentionally. I think it's probably because of the connection thing. As I said before, it's like holding your breath, and you want to get it done before you drown, something like that. That's the only. I think that's kind of the only explanation. I think it's like the input gives it the impetus, or gives me the impetus to do it so rapidly. It's not a new thing either. I mean, I've always done them quickly. I mean, that was the thing that when I first started back was, and I started doing this, and at the time thinking that because I did start with no expectations right from the beginning, so it was straight out the traps and away you go. And I have to say, I remember at the time doing several in a day when I just started doing it. So I think it's because of the sorry, I'm looking for alignments now. It's what you see me doing now. Yeah, as I say, it was an interesting thing to see, because I really didn't expect it to be such a rapid and easy thing. Because I've just seen somebody now doing I think it's that, that, what's that guy called? That A Natural Way to Draw or something. Now I've read parts of that and thought, yeah, whatever. And Nick, something like that, isn't it? But people, it's a bit like the woman that talks about drawing the left and right side of your brain and all that kind of stuff. It's not really my bag, that kind of thing. But this Nicola, whatever, and I saw somebody which they're working through the book, and it's hard graft. It's hard going. The amount of practicing and things that you've got to do with it. It looks like a proper, trek to get through that thing. Well, I don't know whether or not it's worth it or not. What I worry about with stuff like that is if I start thinking, because this is the kind of person I am, and I've done it with watercolor. If I start thinking about, oh, this is the right way to do it, everything becomes focused around that, and I can't see because I'm bogged down by compliance. The doing it this way because. So I can't because I wouldn't be able to say, right, I've just made them marks there and it's not right because I haven't done this, and consider the shadow and contour and all that kind of stuff. I just wouldn't. It wouldn't work for me at all. I would not enjoy that. So I suppose when I first started coming back to this and doing this, and I wasn't defiant in that, in the way that I did it, but I was determined not to get sucked into this is how you do it, and if you don't do it like this, you're going to do it like that, and then you've got to practice this. And see, I've never really been the practicing sort. I just want to, for this. I mean, I might, even then I wouldn't have practiced with the programming. I just did it, and got better at it the more I did it, obviously. And that, I think that's the same attitude for this. For me, I think that's just a creative attitude. We just dive in and do it, and then figure it out as we're swimming away. And I kind of like that. I like that. I think that's probably why I find the things I find, because I'm not confined to doing it in a particular way, Yeah. So as I said, I was going to spend a bit more time on it. I think I could probably spend a bit more time on it. Just getting the shapes a little bit better defined. It's not far off though. It's really not far off. But what's nice about this paper is this ability to remove quite a lot. It goes back almost to white, which is which is good. Very good. So, I think apart from one of the things you notice about this is that how grey it is, because all the usually when I draw things, it's very black. But you'll notice how grey this is, and that for me impacts on all the everything, on the complete structure of everything. It's all comparative. It's all, as I say, the balance issues of it. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I might have stopped using it for that reason, that because I prefer it to be more contrasty. And in the early days, I'm going to show you one now. I'm going to pull one out at random, and we'll just have a look, see whether or not, excuse my blocking the camera. So I pulled it out the other day as well. Look at the density issues. It's completely. Oh, I'm saying it looks completely. It doesn't look that much difference in it, but it is. It's not as dark as. You see there. I see how black they are. And I think that what that does for me is it kind of gets me in the right. I think this is the one I pulled out the other day, actually. In the right frame of mind for. You see how black that one is. Look. You see there. Look how dark those are by comparison. I think it reaffirms, the tonal balance issues things, which is I'm trying to find another one that's as dark as, that kind of thing. I can't remember doing that one. I don't particularly like it. It looks far too photographic, but I've been right across the different, styles, if you like. This is definitely the one I got out the other day. It's an early one, so this is the one that smells. I think this is one of those Elnet or something like that. It might even be that one. I think it might be that one, because it's definitely got a perfume, this one. The normal stuff that I use, the cheap stuff, that's expensive, but the cheap stuff I use doesn't have a scent. So I know when I open these folders, some of them have actually got a particular scent about them, and I could probably tell you what time I did it, what year, based on the perfume of the fixative, the hairspray that I use. So anyway, so back to the tonal thing. I think that is one of the things that using different papers and different charcoal, that's one of the things that helps me to work with tones better, to get the tonal balance to be right. I think none of this is technical. None of this is the usual sort of. This is how you create form or whatever. It's none of that. It's just observation, really. But yeah, so I think I'm done with this for now. I might straighten it up a bit, but yeah, I think that's done. I think I could do with just killing a few of the obvious things, and calming down some other things. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, and then yeah, better. I think, see, the thing is that the tonal balance of the things, the sort of the density of that in relation to everything around it, the density of that in relation to, say, that bit there, all that balancing thing affects the shape of stuff. I mean, it's like you can think that the shape of a lip or whatever is the wrong shape until you start to apply the tone to it, and suddenly, yeah, it's the right shape. Or the eye socket or something like that. There's so often that you can see that you'll see people do when they do the outline colouring in approach. You can see that it looks weird. It depends. I mean, if they traced it, it's not the same, but it looks a bit strange when sometimes they outline the forms, the shapes rather, and then apply the tone to it to give the shape form. But as you're drawing it like this, and you start with putting the tones on to define the forms, define the shapes. It's different. It's different, but you can actually commit too soon to the tonal values, and all of a sudden, it's not possible to actually make the comparisons. But yeah, right. So I love you, leave you, and I'm going to keep working on this because I quite like this paper. I think that could be, as the tones start to get the balance right, as this, things like this start to change, and I can refine things a little bit, tidy things up a lot. I think it'll be a good one. Right. I'll love you and leave it, and I'll catch you. I won't catch you later. I think this is probably the last one today, but I'll see you tomorrow.